Hey Cheesecake Nation, Super Cudge Funk, Dave, and my fiance Eyren. And today we are bringing you our review of
Batman Assault on Arkham.
It just got released on DVD a few days ago, and we've been really excited to see. We've really wanted to see it. I think a lot of fans wanted to see it because one of the more cooler things about Batman are his villains, and this showcases the Suicide Squad,
Task Force X.
and Eyren is basically our DC expert. So how, like, the Suicide Squad, Eyren, like, you've read some of the newer comics about the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
How do you feel like the movie, like, portrayed these characters?
I think the movie portrayed them fairly well. Harley was something that I was kind of, like, on the fence about, because in the comics, because, like, the Joker was involved in this movie. You know, not to spoil it for anybody, but...
Oh, in case everyone knows, this is supposed to be, like, a sort of prequel to the Arkham Asylum game. So, it's got that. So, you see a lot of characters, and the character designs are based off of those games. So,
yeah.
But... Anyway, I'm sorry, you were saying?
Well, since the Joker was involved in the movie, like... in the comics, I mean, as far as I've read, she's much more, like,
Independent?
well, not just independent, like, she's still, like, whenever she, like, even thinks about the Joker, she goes, like, fucking haywire. Like, she's, I don't know, I mean, they did a good job of, making her kind of, like, back and forth.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was more or less she was planning the entire time of, you know, just being like, I'm just gonna go back to the Joker. When in the comics, like, as far as I've read, she's back and forth because, you know, she acknowledges it's an abusive relationship and all that. But
Just one of those can't let it go kind of
yeah.
things. Yeah, and,
See, I actually differ than you two. The way I read that scene was, it was just kind of a bad circumstance. I mean, it's kind of a spoiler, so skip ahead a couple minutes
Yeah.
if you guys haven't seen it and you don't want to see the spoiler. But there's a part where Joker has a gun on them and she joins the Joker. Yeah, I just kind of see it as, you know, survival more than she was trying to betray her team. Even though they really weren't real tight.
yeah.
But, yeah. End of spoilers.
Yeah, now the team consisted of Harley, obviously, Deadshot as their leader, King Shark, Killer Frost, Captain Boomerang, Black Spider, and right off the bat, they killed off KG Beast. Like, before the mission even started.
Yeah.
But, it's pretty cool. Like, the movie starts off with Amanda Waller getting the team together to basically get the Riddler's cane for shit that she needs.
So obviously the Riddler's in the movie too.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters. Like,
Yeah, the cameos that I noticed, we had Two-Face, Riddler, obviously Joker, which I guess you can kind of consider a main character.
yeah, the Riddler was more of a main character.
Him and Joker. You have Bane, you have Poison Ivy, you had
Scarecrow. Penguin wasn't... He was like a side character. Like, he had
a cool cameo.
Yeah, like, he was a minor character that he was like their informant.
There are a lot of Easter eggs if you just keep looking around,
Zaz. Zaz was in the movie for a little bit. He had
Victor Zaz.
Shit. Was her name? Yeah, that was about it. Unless we think of anybody else, we'll...
And of course, Batman.
Yep. Kevin Conroy
Yeah.
did do Batman, as he should.
I don't see any real weak spots in the voice acting cast for this movie.
Yeah. I can't remember his name, but the new guy that they have to do Joker for Arkham Knight and Arkham City, he's a really good Joker. Like, you can tell he's trying to portray Mark Hamill's Joker. And you can tell it's not the same guy, but at the same time, he does a really good job of just getting that classic Mark Hamill Joker down.
Yeah.
Like, the way Mark Hamill... Like, everyone can agree that Mark Hamill, best Joker.
I feel like in order to pass, like, being in the Joker school, like, you have to sound like Mark Hamill at some point.
But yeah, like, and of course, Kevin Conroy is usually, like, his, Batman. And I gotta say, I really like the new guy. Like Dave said, the voice cast, really good.
But, I think from here on out, it's gonna be spoiler territory, so people who haven't seen it, you can click off the video and come back after you have a chance to see it, or if you don't care, just keep watching.
But definitely, big thumbs up. If you're a Batman fan, definitely check it out. It's really cool. They showcase the villains. It's just a cool, fun movie. And, it's the Suicide Squad, so there's a lot of action in it. A little bit of violence, a little bit of sexiness going on. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, I would give out a warning. If you're a parent and you're like, I think I want to get this for my kids, I wouldn't recommend it. It would be a hard PG-13 in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you have no actual nudity, but you have a lot of simulated nudity.
Yeah.
I think you have 3 separate scenes of Harley and 1 of Killer Frost. Was there 2, maybe?
1 or 2, yeah.
And then you have just a lot of, like, inappropriate jokes. You have not real bad cussing. I mean, they cut off the F word at the end, which was kind of weird in that you have, like, heads being exploded off of people, but there's, like, not a whole lot of blood, so I guess that's kind of how you get the PG-13 rating.
Yeah. There's a decent amount of blood, when it calls for it, but...
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of head exploding.
Yeah.
There's a few little problems I had with the movie. Like, one of the major things was Penguin apparently had all of their gear just lying around.
Yeah.
Which was a little weird.
Except for Harley's, I noticed, because when he saw Harley, he was like...
Yeah, I guess he didn't know Harley was coming, but he had like a bunch of boomerangs. For whatever reason, he had their costumes.
Yeah, like, I don't know if this really is much of a spoiler, but this is a part, because like I said, Penguin is the guy that they get all the information from, and how they're going to get into Arkham to do what they're supposed to do. He just has all of their gear, their costumes lying around. I mean, that's the kind of business, like, he gets shit. It still is a little far-fetched, even for something like that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It seemed kind of weird that he had, like, a surplus of all their gear, all the shit that they would need.
I understand if he had generic, like, standard gear guns and stuff, but, like, why would he have a whole bunch of boomerangs? Like, especially brand new, like, bright white boomerangs for Captain Boomerang.
Yeah, he had Deadshot's, like, mask and his arm stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that.
They had Killer Frost's onesie.
Yeah.
They had King Shark's teeth.
Yeah.
Like, what? How?
But anyway, I get that he's an arms dealer and he's going to have a lot of stuff, but it was just kind of a little bit of a stretch. I mean, maybe somebody could point out, like, something. Maybe one time in the comics, he happened to be, like, a supervillain distributor of goods. I don't know, it just seemed kind of weird. I mean, maybe Waller gave it to him, but you never really saw it.
That's what I'm assuming, that Waller just gave it to him. And...
But I mean, a lot of these characters, they literally just pulled straight out of jail.
Yeah.
Yeah. But either way, guys, we're gonna get in spoiler territory, so.
I do want to say it before, though. I'm sorry. Like we've said, there are a lot of villains that people would recognize. But the main cast of characters, I feel like you don't really have to, like, really be into Batman comics.
Yeah.
Like, you could be...
It's a good half and half of, like, characters.
I would say outside of Harley and maybe Deadshot, the others aren't really Batman villains.
I mean, Killer Frost, she's been in a fair amount of stuff. She's been in games. She was in Justice League.
Yeah. I mean, I would say Harley is...
She's a very big difference between her, like, version of the Justice League from the 90s cartoon, where she's, like, a light blue and kind of weird looking. Like, this one's definitely a more sexy version.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, I think Deadshot's, like, a high B-lister. Like, most... Like, I don't know, but Harley is clearly the A-lister, which is obviously why she's on.
Yeah, I mean, I would consider Captain Boomerang more of a Flash rogue.
Yeah.
And I'm not really sure who exactly King Shark is supposed to be the direct rogue of. I think he's a Green Arrow rogue, but I might be wrong. But I don't know. It's a lot of, I would say, B-C list guys, and you get a lot of cameos from like the A tier, your Riddlers, your Ivies, and such, your Bane. They all look pretty cool in what they do.
Yeah. So if you're looking for like more, I mean, if you're expecting to go into this movie and seeing like a lot of like airtime for the more popular Batman villains, you're not, you're gonna be a little disappointed.
This is clearly for comic book fans who know the Batman characters and his extended rogues gallery.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those ones where you kind of have to know what they're talking about. You could get easily lost. I could feel like they don't hold your hand in this movie. You just kind of have to understand, or you're just gonna look at a bunch of people that are just weird.
Yeah.
Like, what's up with this Zaz guy? Why is he talking about zombies and stuff? Is there a zombie outbreak? Like, no,
this lady a zombie? Why is he trying to kill this lady? Is she a zombie? I don't know what the hell's going on. Alright, guys, well, let's get into the actual spoilers.
Alright, I'm gonna put my big problem with this movie, more than anything, is I feel like DC's reliance on the Joker is bordering on just like holy shit territory.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the Joker, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But he doesn't need to be the centerpiece of every game, every comic, every movie, every arc, every show, every piece of merchandise. Like, I get it. He's popular. He's gonna be in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Holy shit. He did not need to be in this, really.
Yeah.
Because he eventually pretty much becomes, like, the story in this movie. Like, it started out with Riddler, which is really cool, because Riddler gets, like, no respect, really.
Yeah.
And he's a pretty cool character, so it was cool to see him be the star of the movie, and then it's like, nah.
Yeah, and so, like, once they, right before they get into Arkham, Batman, you know, catches Harley Quinn and is like, where's the bomb? And, like, she obviously has no idea what's going on, and then that basically sets up for Joker's secondary plot.
Yeah, which kind of takes over the movie.
Yeah, like, that was my big problem with it, too, was, like, the movie starts out, with it being, like, what was it, the Riddler was wanted for something, he knew how to, defuse the bombs that they had in their necks.
He was basically, like, an original Suicide Squad member.
Like, he was gonna release information and all that, and then out of nowhere, there's this
whole... It's all about the Joker.
And there's this, like, bomb, and it's like, when was this mentioned before? Like, what?
Why? Yeah, like...
I mean, you got kind of a light hint from Waller earlier where she's like, Batman's busy with something else. Yeah. It doesn't really make any sense, because apparently Joker's been locked up in Arkham for quite a while now, and, like, Batman's just recently heard about a dirty bomb that Joker had no access to. It didn't make a whole lot of sense, and it just felt like they shoehorned the Joker into this movie. Like, he could have literally just had his one scene with Harley and Deadshot when they brought her in. That was a cool scene. That should have been it, though. Trying to justify Joker beating the shit out of Deadshot was also kind of dumb. Like, Deadshot is an elite assassin, one of, like, the top fighters in their universe. Joker is crafty.
Yeah. Like, he can, like I was saying before, like, you can say what shit about Joker, but he can take a fucking punch.
Yeah, I mean...
But even that, he's not, like, an expert fighter. No. Like, he's a decent fighter at best, but at the same time, he's fucking Deadshot.
Yeah, I mean, it was just kind of weird. It felt a little redundant to have Boomerang and Deadshot in the movie, in that they kind of do the same thing. I don't know who I really would have liked to have seen in that spot. I mean, personally... Deathstroke would have been the guy.
Yeah.
Because I like Deadshot in this movie quite a bit, but he's not exactly a team leader. I mean, I know that's kind of like the way they were going currently in the comics, but I think Deathstroke makes a much stronger leader. Mm-hmm. Or barring him, you have a few other guys you could have gone with. You could have dealt into like some of the other random like low-end rogues. Another major issue, and it's usually not an issue to me, but there was a lot of weird relationships, and it felt like the female characters in the movie were just kind of like side characters, kind of. Like, Killer Frost came out pretty cool. Harley just kind of seemed like a sex object / bargaining tool.
Yeah.
Like, I mean...
she had a couple cool fights, I guess, but literally she didn't do a whole lot.
Yeah, her main purpose in the movie was to hit on Deadshot and to get naked a bunch of times.
Yeah, to give Deadshot his Commander Shepard cool moment.
Yeah, that was actually pretty funny, and because that actually happens in the comics. You know, he gets it on with Harley, and I thought that was pretty funny. You know, he's just like she's like hitting on him for most of the beginning of the movie, and then like he's getting ready to go to bed, and she just shows up naked in his room. He's like, whatever.
Yeah.
And they start doing the big nasty, and it was pretty funny.
Yahtzee.
And like he was like the other relationship, which was really funny, and I actually enjoyed just seeing.
Yeah, done much better.
Was, get ready for this, Killer Frost and King Shark. It was so funny to watch because at the beginning, you know, he was gonna eat her. Like he literally grabbed her, and then like she did a thing, you know, and then they just kind of started making googly eyes at each other throughout the entire movie. And it was funny.
Their relationship was actually, like, adorable.
Yeah.
Like, you took the biggest, scariest guy in the movie and, like, literally the coldest bitch of the movie and made them adorable with each other.
And, like, you could tell, like, they liked each other. They may not have fallen in love or anything like that, but you could tell they were making googly eyes at each other, and they were, like, helping each other out, and they were...
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Like, King Shark was carrying her on his back, and
because he was afraid of heights. Yeah, that was a touching little scene.
yeah,
So he's afraid to run down this thin bridge because the guards can't hurt him, but he's afraid he'll slip and fall. So he takes a whole bunch of rebar and builds like a little handle thing for Killer Frost to hang off the back of him and direct him left and right while he runs down it. And he actually wears a blindfold because he's afraid, and he just runs through everybody.
Yeah.
So little things like that, like they made that relationship very cutesy,
yeah.
a lot of fun. It worked naturally. The Harley and Joker, I mean, it's Harley and Joker.
Yeah.
It's a good relationship. Harley and Deadshot.
It was just one of those things.
It
Cause,
just felt forced to me.
well, yeah, I mean, like I kind of feel that's what they were going for, because it's Harley Quinn and she's like that.
She's could be argued the sex symbol of the Batman universe. I mean, you have Catwoman, you have Poison Ivy.
Yeah,
But I think like you literally took any Batman fan, you're like, which one of the three? I think Harley's probably the higher chance. But, somebody's gonna pick her.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah. Other little issues. I liked Waller in this movie quite a bit. I think her character was done really well. I'm glad to see like the original version of her character. I know the new 52 has made like the new, very sexy Halle Berry version. And I'm not a big fan of that. I think
her being big is like part of her character, and it just makes her.
I mean, she's gotta look intimidating, and I'm sorry, but Halle Berry does not intimidate me.
Amanda. I know she's one of your favorite characters. Like.
Yeah, she's a character that I enjoy mainly because I mean, like, I don't know if I'd go as far as saying she's badass, but she's a very powerful character.
I mean, she's one of the few characters that'll talk back to Batman.
Oh, she is badass. She is a badass
she's
character.
She's badass in that she's a very powerful person.
Yeah.
And she doesn't need to be able to, I mean, she probably can kick people's ass, but she doesn't need to, like, show that she can kick your ass in order to, like, verbally just kick your ass. So she is a favorite of mine.
So it was cool to see her in this movie.
But yeah, if anybody from DC sees this, definitely bring her back to like her original appearance. You don't even have to tell like a good reason. Just artists, just fix it.
I mean, that's like the
very, very few female characters in comics that wasn't made to just be somebody's fucking arm candy. Like I don't care what anybody says about Wonder Woman. Like you can't really take somebody seriously who dresses like that. Like, that's kind of why I like that more Amazonian where she had the skirt and the armor. Like, stick with that look.
Yeah, that look is...
I like that quite a bit more than the battle skimpies.
Yeah.
Well, I mean...
Like, it's one thing to have, like, good-looking characters, because, that's what's going to get people attracted to them.
There's definitely a need for that, but at the same time, you need to fill that other...
There was no reason whatsoever to change Amanda Waller's look at all. Absolutely, just.
I think this is becoming
look, it's a discussion.
I mean, her character in this very enjoyable.
Yeah.
All right, as far as some of the cameos, I think Penguin was done well, minus that weird little thing with him having everybody's gear, which really didn't affect me too much.
But yeah, I like the cameos. They
But
were
I think
pretty
that's
cool.
just a difference in opinion between our kind of favorite characters. Like my
Yeah.
favorite Batman villains are the ones that are very realistic.
Yeah.
So I was really happy to see Zaz in this, who I think had a pretty solid cameo. I mean, he got his point across on what he does. He stabs people in the neck. They even kind of hinted towards his, like, how he sees everybody as dead and he's trying to liberate them by killing them. So that was cool. Scarecrow had a couple really short cameos.
Yeah,
not
he
a
was
whole
only
lot.
yeah, because Scarecrow's my personal favorite Batman villain. He was only there for like a couple seconds. Like he jumped out behind Bane in front of the camera. He stabbed a couple guards with like his needles.
Yeah, I don't know when he became an acrobat. I just gotta say. Like, that's just not the Scarecrow I'm used to. But Bane was monstrous.
Oh yeah, that was pretty
Maybe
cool.
a little too monstrous, but I know in the games he is like
Yeah.
freaking beast.
Get Poison Ivy.
Poison Ivy was really cool. They kind of didn't do a whole lot with her. Like, Batman technically left with her about to kill Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, that was, like, he had all the shit going on at Arkham. You know, all the inmates are out.
And then Joker escapes.
Bane's fucking throwing cars. Poison Ivy's turning everyone into zombies. Deadshot is flying away in a helicopter that secretly has Joker and Harley on it.
That whole thing was.
And Batman just decides,
Oh, I really hate that.
away!
Yeah. Like,
That son of a bitch.
the whole thing at Arkham kind of seemed like it went unresolved. Like, did those zombies kill anybody? Is Poison Ivy and Bane back in their cells? Like, what's going on
Well, technically,
here now?
well, like I said
Bane
before,
got knocked
it's
out.
supposed
Yeah, Bane got knocked
it's
out.
supposed to
but,
be
like,
a prequel to
Yeah.
the game, so
Yeah.
you have to assume that anything that happens gets resolved via that.
Yeah.
And oh, you know, I just realized we keep forgetting to talk about Black Spider.
Well, he
I
was
was
so
gonna say
forgettable in the
something about-
movie.
Yeah, he was pretty.
Spider.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Like, he literally had no personality other than angry black guy.
Yeah.
And then like he gets a fight with Batman, and then Batman like puts him in his costume so he can infiltrate the fucking people.
Which didn't make a whole lot of sense because later on in the movie, Batman got the bat cowl back somehow. Like, did he pocket that thing? Did he roll it up and like tuck it in his boot?
He has like an extra one in his utility belt.
Yeah.
Because out of all the things that he needs,
He also
from
had his
his
like
outfit.
spikes, his spiked gauntlet things.
Yeah.
yeah.
His ninja knives or whatever
But,
you want to call those things. But yeah, it was just kind of weird how Batman got his.
But, before that fight, they're in the warehouse. You could see a lot of stuff from like other Batman villains, and like you see like crates from like you saw the Mr. Freeze crate where Killer Frost, takes the gun, and then you see Firefly and Killer Moth, and it was funny because they make a couple quips about how these guys are like
You get to see a dummy.
Oh yeah, that was really cool. Fucking Scarface scares the shit out of Captain Boomerang. That was pretty funny.
Maxie Zeus name drop. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I kind of had a problem with the fact that the movie has Black Spider in it, but it's trying to sell me on the fact that Firefly's an obscure character.
Yeah, Killer
Come
Moth.
Yeah,
Come on.
really.
I mean, they suck, but they're still a little more well known.
Firefly's a pretty cool character.
Yeah.
But yeah. But
So, like, in case you were wondering, like I said, KG Beast dies right at the beginning because they have
yeah.
shit in their necks that make them go boom if
Yeah,
they
I
step
mean-
out of line.
Standard Suicide Squad kind
And
of.
so once Waller finds out the team is fucking her over, she presses the big button, and at the same time they get Riddler out to like diffuse theirs, and for some reason fucking King Shark's didn't get fused.
Well,
in
he
his...
said because his skin was too thick.
Yeah, and that made me sad because I was really enjoying
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
King Shark quite a bit.
I was kind of hoping that he would like come out like towards like well during the whole like big Arkham like
Like he grew his head
breakout
back
thing.
somehow.
Yeah, and just
Yeah,
like
And then,
I mean, it would have been cool just to have him like
Yeah.
he set the bomb off and he just coughs up smoke or something.
Yeah, and of course Black Spider died because he was doing
Yeah, which
other
I
shit.
definitely have to attribute to Batman killed Black Spider.
And then I guess Killer Frost dies. Like she was in a police car, and then Bane just chucks it.
Yeah, it had a wall.
And
it exploded.
It didn't really explode. I mean, like the. Did it explode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she's probably dead.
I mean, I guess she could have like cocooned herself in ice or something, but she didn't have a whole lot of time.
Yeah, and they didn't like go back to her or anything, so I have to assume she died. And I don't know. Oh, and King Shark in this movie looks a lot more like Killer Croc with a mohawk instead of like a street shark, like he does in the comics.
Yeah.
Which I don't personally have a problem with.
I kind of do, just because he looks so much like a
Killer.
Croc.
Yeah, that's like the one problem I have. He looks way too much like
he's literally
Killer Croc.
slightly bluish Killer Croc.
Yeah, he's got like
With metal mouth.
yeah.
Like mouth guard, slightly bluish Killer Croc. Like if he swam after somebody put that blue shit in the toilet and flushed it down in the sewer, and he was wearing a mouth guard, Killer Croc. Like it was a little too much for me. Like I'm not saying you have to go full on like half shark, half man.
Fighting
A
evil,
little bit
that's
like-
the plan, street sharks.
Yeah. But I mean, just give him kind of like a more
like a shark.
bestial body.
Yeah.
Because he was literally straight up and down, just a big dude.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's kind of the Arkham feel. It's done a very realistic way.
Yeah.
Any characters you guys feel like really should have been in there, but we never got to see?
I think it would have been kind of funny if, like, they saw, like, Killer Croc and King Shark, they just kind of had, like, a little eye-to-eye staring, like a grrr kind of thing. I thought that would have been funny. I'm surprised we didn't see Mr. Freeze at all.
Yeah, we got to see his gun, and it did effectively nothing.
Yeah.
It froze King Shark's face in like a one comedy scene kind of thing.
Yeah, but they're fighting Batman.
But other than that, guys, I think wrap it up with our quick number review. 5 being amazing, 1 being not great, 0 being absolute horseshit. Where are you guys putting it?
I think I give it a 4. It's pretty enjoyable. It's got a couple little things here and there, but overall I think the characters were well represented. Story's not bad. Had a nice cast of cameos, and I think it just represented the Arkham universe pretty well. I enjoyed it.
I think I'd give it a 3.5. I mean, I did enjoy the movie, like, you know, it's like, as it being a movie, but I felt like there were a lot of things that just like after thinking about it, it's like, why is this happening? When did this become a thing? What happened here? Like, there's a lot of things that are unresolved to me, and on top of that, like, I feel like, you know, the plot went from being about one thing to just it being like the Joker again,
Yeah.
and that really bothered me, because it's like Dave said, holy shit, like, does the Joker have to be like the main like villain of every fucking Batman thing? Like, I understand it's a prequel to the games, but
even then it's like it didn't show how the Joker got all that shit together.
Yeah.
So what was the point of having Joker do all that stuff in this movie?
yeah.
If you weren't going to show how he got all that stuff together.
And why would you like start off the movie, you know, like the Riddler being like the main thing, and then oh nope, all of a sudden there's a dirty bomb and Batman has to find it. That's the movie now.
Yeah.
So that's what bothered me.
Alright, I guess I'm the only one that's going to give it a negative rating. I'm actually going to give it a 2.5. I mean, it's enjoyable if you want to see Batman. If you're not into Batman, you're not going to like the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It runs into a lot of issues. I'd say the Joker issue is a big problem. Harley comes off kind of weak.
Yeah.
Black Spider is like
Pretty useless.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything in the movie despite being in most of the movie.
Yeah.
Like he has like nothing. The cameos are pretty fun. Batman is Batman. I mean, he's cool in the movie. I like Kevin Conroy. It's just a good performance by everybody on the voice acting team. I think it's just you literally just need a better story around it. Like a lot of cool characters, a lot of good portrayals. No issues technically from him. Animation was really nice, but yeah, I gotta say 2.5. If you're into Batman, check it out. It's not the best Batman movie. I think if you're gonna look for the best Batman movie, I'd say Under the Red Hood right now.
Yeah, Under the Red Hood's really good. The Doom one wasn't like the one.
Superman, Batman, Doom. Is that what it's called?
No, like the Justice League Doom
yeah.
one. That one wasn't too bad. Under the Red Hood is really good.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna change mine to 3. Now that I think about it, I think 3 is a little bit better. Because just the direction that they went, like, it started off really good, and then it just kind of dwindled down. Like, the beginning, like, the first half is the most enjoyable.
Yeah, I would say it drags a little bit in Arkham. Which it really shouldn't have, because that's your action. Like, the beginning was real upbeat and fun. You had a lot of cool little things with the characters. But if I had to give it, like, a compliment sandwich, good, visually, and voice acting and stuff, really crisp, really looked good.
Characters were fairly well represented.
Yeah.
But then, like, the negative parts, there's no really need for Black Spider at all, except to get
I would have chosen
swapped.
different characters. That's what I would definitely say.
Yeah.
I would choose different characters, and I would have... The characters you're going to use, do a little bit better of a job with some. Like, Deadshot came off really cool, but Harley was kind of weak. Amanda was cool. Joker was kind of...
He was the Joker.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get us wrong. The way they did the Joker was great. He just didn't need to be everywhere.
Shoehorned into everything.
Like, once he showed up, the movie was basically about him.
Yeah.
Which is like, you have 2/3 of the movie without him, and then all of a sudden the ending is literally all about the Joker.
Yeah.
But I think that'll wrap it up. Oh, last compliment. Batman himself. He was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you could really say anything bad about Batman. Like, his fight with Harley, the first one in the toy store, really, really enjoyable. The second fight, not so much, but it really wasn't on him. Just like, it was kind of a waste of time. Just because they really, like, hadn't kind of built up that fight at all.
Yeah.
Like, why did he even knock Harley out of the helicopter when everybody apparently could just survive a helicopter into a building face first?
Yeah.
I think he did that just because he knew the hammer. She had the hammer.
I guess. It was just...
I don't know. Anyway, guys, that's it. If you'd like to go check out Batman Assault on Arkham, you'd probably find it at Walmart or something. But, like I said, pretty much 2.5 to a 3.5. It's a decent movie. It has a few problems, but any Batman fan will probably enjoy it.
Yeah, if you're one of those hardcore Joker fans and you have no problem with the Joker, like, he was really a big source of my, like, the story just kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I did it. But if you're like, oh man, Joker, is he good in it? And I'm like, yeah, the Joker was pretty good.
Yeah. Don't know if it's going to come to Netflix or not, but either way, still a pretty good movie. Check it out if you feel like it, but... That's going to wrap it up for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to become a member of the Cheesecake Nation today. I'm Super Cudge Funk.
I'm Dave.
And I'm Eyren.
And we'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.